All right, hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the DisTract. My name is Nick. If this is your first time here, thanks for hanging out. Here at the DisTract Watch Party, we do a watch party once every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We watch a movie together as a community and talk about it in chat, go over trivia, all that kind of stuff. We pretty much just nerd out over a movie every week. So if that sounds like something that you guys are interested in, make sure to like and subscribe on the video. And also make sure to join the Discord linked in the description below so that you guys can vote on what movie we watch going forward. This is just the pre-show. This is going to be where we go over some pre-show trivia about the movie and kind of talk about it a little bit before diving in. The movie should start in about 8 minutes and 40 seconds here. So let's go ahead and get this pulled up. I see some people already in chat here. We've got Brian, who's going to be joining us actually on the watch party here right after the movie starts. Kathleen's in the chat as well, so welcome in. Let's see. So I do have some information pulled up. We did have a theme of hand-drawn animation, which was a fun theme. We had Alice in Wonderland, The Secret of NIMH, Princess Mononoke, Emperor's New Groove, and Fireworks. And it came down to a tight race between The Secret of NIMH and Princess Mononoke, and Princess Mononoke obviously edged it out, judging by the title of the video you clicked on. So I do have some information pulled up regarding Princess Mononoke. It did come out in 1997, rated PG-13. This is going to be about a 2 hour and 15-minute movie, so this is a little longer than most of our DisTract Watch Party movies. It is, of course, directed by the legendary director for Studio Ghibli, Hayao Miyazaki. I am an anime novice. I don't know too much regarding anime. That's why I kind of brought Brian on. I know Brian's a little more into that world. He could probably help me appreciate some of the stuff on there. That's kind of what I wanted to do when I picked these, is try to increase my appreciation for anime films. On a journey to find a cure for Tatarigami's curse, Ashitaka finds himself in the middle of a war between the forest gods and Tatari, a mining colony. In this quest, he also meets San, the Mononoke Hime. Just a disclaimer that I don't think I need to say for anyone that's that watches this regularly, but I will butcher names. I'm going to butcher and probably disrespect names throughout this entire thing. It's not intentional, but that's just my disclaimer here. So I don't know how much I've already butchered, but that's definitely going to happen as we get into more Japanese anime stuff. Hime means princess. I don't know if it's Hime or Hime, though. I don't know. I guess Hime sounds more right to me, but I'm not 100% sure. But Brian did say it. Oh, we got Random Andy's channel in here. Just a warning, if you put the highlight reaction on YouTube, be extra careful. Japan is not nice to reactors and gives strikes to channels, so thought I would give you a heads up. I really appreciate that, Random Andy's. I have heard horror stories about Studio Ghibli. I'm not going to be doing a highlight video for this one for the reasons that you did say, but I do appreciate you giving me that warning there. Yeah, I've heard awful things about Ghibli striking and taking down anything. So, I just to be on the safe side, I might as well just blur this too. I don't know if they'll get at me for that frame or something. The cool thing about the watch parties here is that I don't host any of the content on here. Like, everyone else hosts it on their own thing, and I just kind of sync it together. So I think I'm going to be fine. But yeah, I do appreciate the heads up. So we got about 5.5 minutes here. Let's go ahead and get some trivia under our belt. Let's see. Yeah, definitely. I do definitely really appreciate that, Andy. Good looking out. So trivia here. When Harvey Weinstein obtained the North American, let me see. The North American distribution rights to Princess Mononoke, he approached Hayao Miyazaki and insisted on a shorter version of the film that would be better attuned to American audiences. Of course, Weinstein would do that. However, Miyazaki was still so upset by the heavily cut version of Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind that he angrily left the meeting. Several days later, Studio Ghibli producer Toshio Suzuki sent a katana sword to Weinstein's office with no cuts embedded into its blade. That is some gangster shit right there. The film was later released in the USA in its uncut version. When asked about the incident in an interview, Miyazaki simply smiled and stated, "I defeated him." That's so awesome, dude. So Weinstein was trying to get him to cut the film, and Miyazaki stormed out of the office, and then his producer sent a katana sword with no cuts embedded on the side of the katana sword. That's pretty amazing. And then he just said, "I defeated him." That's a great, Weinstein makes a great villain for any kind of story on here. So anytime I'm reading trivia and Weinstein is the villain, it's a plus. Director Hayao Miyazaki personally corrected or redrew more than 80,000 of the film's 144,000 animation cells. So yeah, Brian said that's something they do not mess with. I don't know if you're referring to like people doing reactions of their stuff or that story that I just talked about. But yeah, they either way, Ghibli does not mess around. So I guess Ghibli. I don't know if it's Ghibli or Ghibli. I don't know. So Miyazaki personally corrected more than 80,000 of the film's 144,000 animation cells. That is some work ethic there. Yeah, this story about cuts. Yeah, exactly. No, that's some gangster shit. Like sending a katana to a dude, like, don't cut my film. It's like a vague threat, but also not. It's just enough, just like straddling that line of a threat. So now that we have about 3 minutes left, I just want to explain quickly for anybody that's new here. If you guys do want to watch the movie with us, it is available on HBO Max, but you can pull it up however is most convenient for you. If you own it or if you own it digitally or whatever, you're just going to pull it up and put it to about 10 seconds into the movie and pause it. And once this counter to my right, I guess it's my right, yeah. This counter to my right goes down to 10 seconds, you'll see a cool animation that'll trigger, and then it'll tell you to press play, and then at that point we should be all synced there. So if you guys want to do that, that's how that's done. If for some reason you don't get synced up correctly, don't worry, there's a duration timer that goes on right after this, so you'll be able to easily just fast forward it to wherever we're at in the movie. You'll be able to see that immediately. This is the last major animated motion picture to be filmed on plastic animation cells. That's interesting too. Oh, awesome. We've got Luann and Candy in the chat. Hey, guys. We're just going over some trivia here before the movie starts. Produced for about 2.35 billion Japanese yen, approximately $23.5 million in US. It was the most expensive anime ever made at the time of its release. So, I guess this came out, 98, 97? This was the most expensive anime ever produced. Princess Mononoke replaced E.T. the Extraterrestrial as the highest grossing film of all time in Japan until Titanic later that year. So it held the... That's pretty crazy that an anime movie like this was the highest grossing film of all time in Japan. It was a short-lived record because Titanic later that year obliterated it, but that's pretty cool. It was at one point the highest grossing film of all time in Japan. Miyazaki had intended this to be his final film before retiring. Its great success led to him to do another, Spirited Away, in 2001, which he has made more films in the years after that. So this was initially a retirement film for him, but I'm glad he came back. He did Spirited Away, which I did see in a theater. So I have seen Miyazaki films. I just haven't seen this one. Yeah, so we've got about 45 seconds left here, guys. Like I said, once the countdown reaches 10, you'll see a countdown animation trigger. It's going to tell you to press play right at the end, and then you should be all synced up with us here. So you should have the film synced to this frame. I'll unblur it here really quickly. Sync to this frame here, and then just pause it, and then press play when it tells you to. Mononoke means angry or vengeful spirit. Hime is the Japanese honorific word that means princess, which in the rules of Japanese grammar is placed after a person's name instead of before. All right, so here we go. We got a countdown in
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
All right, sweet. So we are off to the races here. If you guys didn't get synced up, make sure to check the duration timer here. You can fast forward it to about 30 seconds and then just pause it and press play when it hits 30, and then you should be caught up. But without wasting too much time here, I do want to get my guest in on the action here. My guest is Brian. He's a friend of mine and also a contributor at the Geeks Worldwide. I'm going to go ahead and get him pulled in here real quick. Hello.
Hey,
How's it going, man?
Me.
Oh, no problem, man.
Good. Oh man, this is one of my favorite films. Like right off the bat, this is such a monumental film for like anime and anime in general, especially Japanese animation.
Yeah.
Just because, like how you mentioned, it broke so many records in 1997, 98.
Yeah, that surprised me. I wasn't that aware of the financial successes that came with it.
Yeah, and what some of the crazier stuff that like you didn't get a chance to talk about was like the film that actually broke the record that it set was Spirited Away. Like it took another
cool.
Miyazaki film to break another Miyazaki record.
Yeah, he broke his own records. That's awesome.
But,
what's up, MN? MN's here in the chat. I'm just gonna not. I'm here just not going to be in chat. Want to pay attention to the movie. I completely understand that, MN. Glad. Thanks for joining us. If you have any thoughts after the film, though, since you're going to be probably paying a little more close attention to it, it'd be much appreciated to hear your take at the end here. But yeah, I was surprised at the financial successes and stuff. I know Miyazaki was big, but I didn't know he was like a huge box office draw in Japan at the time.
Yeah, he could be on the same level as like Walt Disney when it comes in terms of animated films. Like he's considered Disney of the West.
Yeah,
it's a really unique perspective and take of it that he's able to do such these great monumental things with the work of art, and it's all hand-drawn animation. And every single time he goes like, "Oh, I'm gonna retire," it's like, "Nope, psych! I'm making another film. I'm making another film. I'm making another film."
Hopefully, that's what Tarantino does.
I hope so too, because that'll be really, really cool.
Yeah, hopefully he just says he's gonna retire and then just keeps coming back and does more. That would be ideal.
No, yeah,
I'm just adjusting.
Really...
I'm just adjusting your camera here. It should just take a second.
No worries. Just let me know where I need to go.
Yeah. No, you're good.
All right. Cool.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, this was one of those movies that like I remember seeing it way, way, way back when, and I didn't remember what it was, and I was like, "This is a really unique anime film. It's really special." Like you could tell from like a young age because I was, I think, 12 or 13 when I first saw it, so it stuck with me for 20 some odd years.
So I might be mistaken, but this is more. I don't want to say grounded because his stuff is so kind of artistic and really really kind of imaginative. Like all of his stuff is like that. But this one seems like it's more kind of grounded in like a real world, like physics, and it's not as like a poetic as Spirited Away is and stuff.
Yeah. So one of the things that with Miyazaki, he has two main central themes. It's nature and women power, women empowerment, and equal representation of women compared to men. So this film really highlights that with Mononoke and San, or no, San is Mononoke. With the main character and
Ashitaka or
Ashitaka.
Yeah.
With Ashitaka and San, that they're viewed as equal perspective, like they're on equal footing. It's not one's better than the other.
Right.
So it's a really unique take that he was doing this all the way back in the 80s with My Neighbor Totoro, Nausicaa Valley of the Winds, a lot of his stuff like that. And it's unique that he still kept those themes all throughout his career. Yeah,
that's a thing, form of praise. I think I haven't seen too many Miyazaki films, but one thing I hear about all of them is that he draws, or he I don't want to say draws. He creates really complex female characters, and like that was appreciated even back when, like you said, back in '97 and the '80s and stuff when he was making these movies. He's always made really complex, interesting female characters.
Yeah, and like I could go on and on about the movie, but it's just with this one, it's such a visually striking comparison because most of his movies, this is the first one ever set of his movies in feudal Japan.
Yeah, so Candy, sorry, I'll let you go 1 second. Candy brought up an interesting thing that I wanted to get addressed early, which is how are you watching this? Are you watching the dub or sub?
I am doing dubbed.
You're dubbed? Okay. Yeah, that's same here. And I'd like to hear people because I know people are very like protective over whether it's a dub or sub cut. I don't know if it's set specifically with Miyazaki or just anime in general, but there seems to be a lot of arguments about doing the dub versus sub. But isn't on Miyazaki films, isn't he pretty involved in the dub version of his work,
Yeah,
or no?
yeah, yes and no. Like this one, surprisingly, the main person that had a lot of say in the English language was Neil Gaiman.
Neil Gaiman. Okay.
Yeah, he did a lot of the translations, and in lack of a better words, he kind of Anglo-Saxonized it where it made sense across both realms.
Okay. That's cool. I like Neil Gaiman too. But yeah, I tend to go with the dub, especially for like watch parties like this. I think it would be really hard to like talk about it and then also be reading the subtitles too. So I think it just fits better for the watch party. But however, I think if Candy watched it dubbed though, wouldn't it be this? It's the same visually, right? It's not gonna like change the cut for her. So yeah,
Yeah, and the voice actors in this movie are like some of the best actors. Like you have Billy Crudup in it, you have Gillian Anderson, just top tier talents,
yeah.
and it's really good.
That's ominous. Candy says I don't usually have a preference on dub versus sub, but I do have a pick on the rewatch of something. I always gravitate back to the version I saw first. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I think we talked. I think I touched on with Jeremy about that when I was watching Pulp Fiction. When he talked about Tarantino, he said a lot of times your favorite movie is the first one you saw, and I think that holds true for a lot of different stuff. As far as like, you usually have the biggest emotional attachment to like the thing you saw first, and irrespective of which one you think is better or not, it's like you have an emotional connection to the first thing you saw.
Oh, that's yeah, for sure. Because for me, sometimes with like the anime dubbed or subbed, it depends on the anime. Like if there's a lot of action, I cannot do subs because I like pause, read, pause, read, pause,
Right.
read. So like Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, Bleach, when they had those epic fight scenes, I was like, yeah, I can't do this sub. I
Yeah.
gotta do this dub because I want to pay attention to that.
It also depending on how much talking is going on, like how much dialogue is happening, it also takes up a decent amount of real estate on the screen. So it's like for like really visual things like that, you're like I don't want to like have text kind of covering these frames, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, exactly. If you ever want a challenge of reading of like subbed anime, I highly recommend do da 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 when they get into the chat room and there's five people talking all at once and you're trying to read the conversation and it's subtitling all the conversation
Yeah.
with all the dialogue with you're like I can't do this.
Yeah, I would tap out immediately. Like, sorry, I can't do that. I was gonna say too, when he pulled his bandage off, I was be like, that'd be a pretty sick tat, because I know people love this anime. I wonder if anyone's gotten the tattoo of the like boar thing on their arm. You know what I mean? That.
Oh, yeah, they had to because this.
Yeah.
You see so many people like so many different versions of Mononoke's mask of so many different iconic things from the movie. So yeah, I definitely.
Yeah.
Someone had to have done that.
That'd be a badass little like forearm sleeve to get done. You know.
Yeah, thankfully I don't have the arms for it.
I know, right? Do they say, or maybe we missed it? Did they say what age Ashitaka is supposed to be in this? Is he supposed to be just like a young preteen kind of, or
They left it ambiguous.
okay? They kind of
Yeah,
did
they
that
never,
too in like Neverending Story with Atreyu. It's like they kind of leave it ambiguous, like what his age is, but you assume he's just kind of like a younger, like maybe like under 20 years old, you know?
yeah, no, it's definitely either young, late teens, early 20s,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. And it's also kind of implied that it takes a while to be able to master some of the stuff that he's been doing and with the tribe.
Right.
Yeah, and I know this is one of his longer films, so it's going to be a interesting treat for when we get to like the big battles and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. And because this is a movie where it's a little more like it requires a little more attention than say like Dodgeball or some of the other movies that we've done before. We might not have as much commentary because I kind of actually do want to pay attention to a lot of the dialogue and stuff in here because I have a feeling there's a lot of meaning imbued in it.
There is, and one of the cool things about the dialogue further down in the film, you get to see a lot of the implications of current themes right now that we're dealing with: climate change, industrialism, and the industrial age. So definitely when we get to there, the dialogue
Okay.
does play a major role in current society. Even though,
Yeah. It's like relevant today, you know.
yep. There's one that he made that me and Lou saw recently. It's a was it Pompoko? Yeah, Pompoko. It deals with the raccoon dogs. I forgot their names. Mario, not Todoroki. The Mario turns into it. Tanukis. They deal with Tanukis. And
Tanuki's for you said Mario?
yeah, or Mario has a Tanuki suit where he turns into like a raccoon dog.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the raccoon thing that flies. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, so that movie also played big into current day themes, and it's really unique that still it's the environment, the impact it has on nature, and the impact it has on everyone. How
Yeah.
if we destroy it, it doesn't just affect us; it affects so many more ecosystems.
Mm-hmm. This just shot his arms off. Jesus Christ. His bow, man. His bow's like a weapon of mass destruction.
Oh, it gets better.
Yeah. Yeah, I really noticed the difference on the action sequences on a Miyazaki movie. Like even that little like exchange with the guy shooting the arrow and it coming at camera, that has to be so hard to like convey in 2D animation. And I just remember thinking like, oh wow, that's a really cool effect.
Yeah,
But a lot of his like fast-paced action sequence stuff always seems it always seems like he goes for the harder shot than what it would have been like an easier thing to animate, you know?
yeah. That's one of the. That's why he's considered one of like the greatest animators, is because he takes so much detail and he looks at the things at like each scene, and he analyzes what people would be doing in the background and the foreground
Mm-hmm.
and what's realistic.
Yeah. Is that Billy Bob Thornton?
Yep.
Okay. I was like, I know whose voice, somebody's voice that is.
Yeah. Like I said, the casting, the voice actors in this movie are top-notch voice actors.
Yeah.
I want to see some of them real quick.
So is this your favorite Miyazaki movie?
It's one of them. Like, it's one of my go-to ones that I really do enjoy a lot. And if I have an option of buying whichever version of it, this will probably be one of them.
Yeah.
One that like I've watched once and it was really good. I want to watch it again. Is The Wind Rises, which deals with the creation of the Zero airplane
Oh, okay.
that was used in World War II. That was a really unique movie. If you get a chance to watch it, highly recommend it.
Yeah.
The Secret World of Ariadne is really fun. It's really cool.
Is that a Miyazaki film or is that just a? Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's based off of the Borrowers.
Oh, okay.
So that one's really cool, really fun. Spirited Away was the first one I saw in theaters. That one has like a very special place for me. Just being like, this was unique. I never knew that they could do such a great movie, and that's before I knew that Miyazaki did both films.
Right.
Nausicaa Valley of the Winds is really fun. Unique, very, very unique, especially dealing with the creatures and animation. That one's really visually stunning. But yeah, this one's probably top tier.
Yeah. The score is really good so far too. The music.
Oh yeah. One of the local record shops here, Park Ave,
Mm-hmm.
they had this for sale, and I was like, I gotta get it. And then
Yeah.
the price tag, I'm like, I don't need it that much.
Yeah.
And it was on vinyl, but it was just, I think it was like $75, and it was,
Oh no.
yeah, because it's an import. And I was like,
Yeah.
I like it, just not there yet.
Yeah, Katie said the score is always beautiful in Ghibli films. Yeah, the ones that I've seen, yeah, the score definitely always stands out. And I mean, they're always different too. They're always like really different.
There's Minnie Driver.
Oh, I didn't know the Ghibli scores. Lou said the Ghibli scores are big on TikTok now. You know what? I'll probably watch a Ghibli movie now, and then I'll be like, oh, this is that TikTok song. You know? Like I'm pretty sure I'll probably like listen to it and I'll be like, oh shit, I have heard this song. It's I haven't heard this on TikTok. That'd be so sad if I heard it and I was like, hey, they're using that TikTok song. People would just beat the shit out of me probably.
And if I'm not mistaken, her assistant is John DiMaggio.
Who's assistant?
Lady Ibashi.
Oh, the voice actor?
Yeah.
Is she Jillian Anderson?
No, that's Mini Driver.
Mini Driver, okay.
Yeah, Gillian Anderson is the voice of the wolf.
Okay. Yeah, Candy said Jillian's the big wolf. I'm assuming we're about to get introduced to the big wolf.
Well, we saw her. She got
She got
lit on
shot.
fire. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that fire scene is a very iconic fire scene.
The one we just saw where she got burned? Yeah. Dang, just get in there. I don't know if I could do that. It just, what did it just kill that horse?
I love the wolf. Wolf's like, we got snacks.
Yeah, yeah. Luke says spitting blood is the best mating call, yeah. Oh, you've got the little figurine?
Yep. Yeah, Lou got it for me for my birthday, along with some plants. So I have these guys in my little planter outside.
That's cool. Did she spit blood at you also that day? Just to kind of to attract you?
For time to time, it just depends if there's food involved.
Candy says first Kodama. Kodama? Is it Kodama or Kodama? The name of the little. I'm assuming she's talking about the little name of the. I call them bobbleheads. That's what I'm gonna call them.
Yeah, I just call them like little forest spirits. And to answer Lou's question, no, the plants are still alive. Little butt cheeks.
So one of the ones I have seen is Totoro, and this reminds me of like the little things that lead them to Totoro's like what is it, like his lair or whatever?
Yeah, they carry the umbrella. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that was really fun.
Yeah, I think Candy said I talk about the same thing. Are the suit sprites the one from My Neighbor Totoro, Candy, that I'm thinking of too? The Susu Watari. Dude, she's coming in clutch with all these names. These are just bobbleheads to me, that's all I'm...
There there was a time where you could go to any anime convention and there'll at least be about 3 or 4 people dressed up like Sam.
Oh yeah. You mean the girl, the wolf girl? Yeah. Okay, that was Sand.
Yeah, Sam. Well, they haven't announced her name yet, but yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, it said it in the log line or whatever. Dude, I'd hang out there too. This shit looks awesome.
Bro, magical footsteps? Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if they took reference images for this kind of place. I wonder if there's a place that actually is like this. It's like a little, it's almost like a green marsh, almost, you know?
Yeah.
They look like almost mangrove trees and stuff too, right?
A little bit, yeah.
So Candy says the ones I'm thinking of are Little Totoro's, Trolls, and the Susuwatari that she's talking about are in Totoro and Spirited Away. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, when the girls enter the house for the first time, that's where you get to see the shit spirits.
Dang. In Totoro, they're the little critters that are hiding in the dark corners of the house. In Spirited, they live in the boiler room with Komachi and live off of Compieto. Yeah, so yeah, I guess that's what I was kind of getting at, is that he uses these kind of those little spirit characters, I guess, in a lot of his work.
Yeah, that's one of his other things. Is he uses a lot of Japanese traditional spirits and stuff like that.
These landscape shots are insane. I will say one of the things that I think of when I watch Miyazaki stuff is that, you know, my formative years were like, because I was like 10, I guess, when Toy Story first came out. So I was around 10 years old when 3D animation first started like coming into the limelight, you know, like 3D animation. And I think people in our generation and maybe the generation right after ours, it's really hard. It's really easy to underappreciate this kind of stuff, because when you see the 3D animation and like the tools that they have now, where they can like animate wind blowing over grass, it's just literally a matter of an algorithm. There's not, you know what I mean? But back in this time, what we're watching right now, it's like this painstaking process of like people having to draw frame by frame, cell by cell, like And then Miyazaki had to justify that to his financier, saying like, no, I need this 3 minute shot of like wind going over trees, you know, or I need this like 30-second shot of like water rustling over a waterfall, you know. And I think that's what's so different about it is that so much of his intentions come through because you realize that he had to fight to have like a bunch of animators animate this like really small kind of atmospheric moment that really wasn't it really isn't integral to the plot, you know.
Yeah,
And I
like the
think that's
scene.
what's so crazy about it.
Yeah, the scene that we just saw right now. You had two different groups helping out the wounded, and and they each have unique colors, unique perspective, unique facial expressions.
Right.
Even the background characters, granted, some of the facial hair is kind of the same, but they all have different body shapes. Beforehand, you just
Mm-hmm.
like how you say with 3D, type in an algorithm, create 30 random looking people and put them in there. Now, back then it's
Yeah.
like, okay, we have to animate one each individually. And even the two guys on the side are like, they have to be like, oh god, this guy's getting reamed by his wife.
Yeah.
They just have to put like the awkward, like, yeah, we don't want to be here.
Yeah. Yeah. That must be Jada Pinkett, right?
Yep,
Okay.
dude. Like I said, Miyazaki films have really great voice actors,
Mm-hmm.
Japanese and English, and it's a treat to watch both versions of it.
Yeah.
You're not handsome. You're gorgeous. Yeah, and with this film, there's like a lot of unique little Easter eggs and little things that you don't see the first time you watch. Like right now, when they closed the gate, you saw the whole frame shake as if it shook everything.
Yeah.
And those are like the unique touches that you don't normally get with hand-drawn animation. That with 3D animation, you usually like, oh well, we could write an algorithm to make the camera shake. This one, like, they had to set it up to shake and
Mm-hmm.
not look so jarring.
Yeah. You're almost trying to mimic. You're almost trying to mimic through animation that there's a camera there. You know.
Yeah,
It's like it's kind of like you know how J.J. Abrams always does the lens flares. It's like
yeah,
this thing where it's this cool effect, but it automatically makes you realize that it's a camera. You know, that's capturing it. It's kind of similar to that.
yeah. And the scene that just passed by, like, I don't mean to be like but when the girls were talking in the dining hall, the guy that
Mm-hmm.
was keeping watch, the guard, he literally turns around, looks at him like, the hell commotion is going on back there? They
Yeah,
realized what was going on. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go back to looking out for wolves and dangerous creatures.
yeah. They each have kind of their own character. Each one has their own kind of little character moments.
Yeah.
So the boar that invaded his village is literally just did it because they were tearing down his home, right?
Yeah, yeah, and he got infected by the iron ore, and it turned him into a demonic spirit.
Oh, okay.
Like you can't stress enough like how in detail they get with things like in the scene that just passed with the guys hammering that log, you see the guy holding the stick and just kind of like flinching away right before they strike the hammers. That's like really amazing detail.
Yeah. I know in like 3D animation stuff I've seen behind the scenes, they have like they take reference videos, and I wonder if Ghibli does that too. Like before they do these animations, they kind of have people go out and take reference videos of what it should look like if a person's doing it, and then they kind of like animate to that, or if it's all just like born out of their imagination, I guess.
They use a lot of reference videos, a lot of reference photos, just to draw like movements for animations. It's so much unique work goes into certain like animation styles just to get like the right proper movements, the proper dance. That it's a lot of work. That's why a lot of these films
Yeah,
take years to come out.
and they're really expensive too.
Yeah.
So is the thing on his arm, is that hatred, I guess? Because I've noticed it acts up when he's like gonna fight something or when he's gonna like murder something, or is that like he's infected with hatred or something?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's a curse of hatred because
Okay.
of the foreign objects destroying the land, and it's born out of that.
Right. Okay.
That guy just dropped like some of the most deepest wisdom.
Yeah. What the hell are those things? That's so fucked up. They're trying to plant trees, and she's like, "Oh, they keep plant fucking trees. I gotta kill them all."
They do this every night.
I know. Like, what a Scrooge.
She really is.
Yeah. So I do like that they're not making it like a binary issue. Like they're making her have redeeming qualities so that you kind of feel for both sides of the war. Like where it's like
Yep.
she wants to cure her lepers, but she's doing it in like an awful way, and like this the forest spirit attacked that village, but it was because his home was being wrecked, and that kind of shit. So it's like they're making it more complex than I think a lot of like animated movies would, where it's just kind of like this is the good people, this is the bad people, like go at it. They seem to be making it a little more of a gray area.
Yeah, that was one of the best things about this film. Like it touched upon a lot of real world issues, and it didn't hide the fact that war, environment, society is a lot more complicated structurally than what we perceived in everyday lives.
Right.
And having Lady Eboshi be the representation of like, yes, she is destroying the environment, but look how many other people that she's helping. She's helping former prostitutes, lepers,
Mm-hmm.
creating a society where people are being able to flourish, be better people.
Yeah.
I can.
So Candy said, I never understood why she asked him to stay and kill the monsters. Like, lady, what if my story makes you think I'd be okay with that? I agree with that too. Like, I don't know why he would stay, but she did kind of add at the end, she said that maybe the blood of that spirit god can heal your wound on your arm. So that might be a reason for him to want to like stay around or hang around or help them, is to kind of cure his arm. But yeah, it seems kind of out of character for him to want to kill these spirits and stuff. He's been so, especially since he first met her, he's been so averse to that.
Yeah, and the only times he's actually ever killed anyone or reached out with violence were people that were either going to try to kill him or somebody else.
Mm-hmm. He's pretty popular with the ladies, looks like.
I mean, he's gorgeous.
Yeah.
For this scene, definitely, I'm just going to enjoy it.
Yeah. Parkour. Dang, she's hauling ass.
Yeah, bro.
She's definitely picking the rogue style RPG abilities, you know.
Oh yeah. She's a rogue thief.
Yeah, she's a rogue thief for sure. Oh,
Like the facial expressions on Lady Eboshi during the fight is like
mm-hmm.
even if it's on screen for like half a second, there's raw emotion and so much good stuff.
Yeah. He's starting to feel that hate in his arm. Damn, bro. He's like Superman now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Just takes him out with two punches. Damn.
Yep.
Don't worry. I just knocked her the fuck out. She'll be alright.
But the crazy thing, like if you notice, it was only the women that went to take care of her.
Mm-hmm.
All the guys just stood around, confused, not knowing what to do.
Oh shit. He's just gonna walk it off?
And some.
That dude's sword looks like a curly fry now.
You see how like the guys are portrayed as incompetent and
Mm-hmm.
they didn't know how to like react, but all the women knew exactly where to go, what to do, their roles and their place, and it's really unique to see how in society they're a major part of it.
Yeah. It takes one Ashitaka to open that gate.
And a shit ton of blood.
Yeah.
No, something that Candace said, I don't think we talked about was like, I never understood why she asked him to stay and kill the monster. Like, lady, what if my story makes you think I'll be okay with that?
Yeah.
And I think it's like she doesn't know who to trust and who not to trust.
Right.
And she thought that he had a common enemy that like, oh, if we get the forest spirit, it'll cure you. And he's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh shit. Damn. That wolf went from like 0 to 100 so fast. It was like, oh,
Yeah.
he's away from her. Let me rip his fucking face off.
Yeah, it's like if we drop food around one of our dogs, they're gonna come
Yeah.
running for that rag real quick.
Yeah. I'm surprised he's not. Dude, that wolf grabbed him and went, ah.
That's Claire Danes.
Dude, he's dying in a spitting game? Come on, man. That's not Gillian Anderson, there's no way.
Nah, you'll see her.
It's like, dang, Gillian Anderson got her deep voice. Man, they want to eat the human?
Yeah, dude, this is where it gets dark.
Damn.
And I want to say this might be a commentary against like certain practices of eating specific animal parts for like strength, vitality, and stuff like that. Reminiscence
Yeah.
to Futurama and the Lower Horn.
Yeah, I think it also speaks to how like when you're desperate, you latch on to things that like you latch on to like ideas that are damaging or false or like there's no truth to them, but like you're more easily manipulated when you're in a
Yep.
state of desperation and stuff. Like they're saying like their force is being taken away, so they're resorting to all this like crazy shit to try to like fix it. You know?
Yeah, yeah. So it's a lot, and this it's a counter thing of nature because normally with nature it's they poach the rhinos for the ivory for the tusk, the horns,
Hmm.
to help with like men's ED.
Yeah.
But this also mirrors of like the apes don't feel strong enough, so they need to eat the human to feel as strong as they are. And it's a
Right.
very unique perspective of like societal views of nature and animals.
Yeah. This also mirrors that hero's journey narrative that you see in like Pocahontas and Avatar, like those kind of movies too, where it's like a lone warrior, kind of like torn between two warring factions. Like he's empathetic to both sides and like trying to find peaceful solutions and stuff. You see a lot of that in those movies too. Those kind of I think it's like I think it's a subgenre of like the hero's journey, like this kind of quest journey, but when there's one warrior kind of pulled between two worlds.
Yeah, no, I like that. That's deep as hell, dude. But I like it a lot. But it makes sense. Like you do see that a lot, especially when it's not clear cut, where there's conflict,
Hmm.
where there's a lot of grays. You do need like the little side quest or side journey
Yeah,
of
you need a character that's got like he's got um, skin in the game on both sides, and then he's able to kind of bridge the two
yep.
in some kind of way to find some kind of coexist, like to be able to coexist together. And that's kind of what Ashitaka is. He's a human, but he's also like he's infected by
Yeah.
nature and all that kind of stuff, and, he's got empathy for nature. So he's like this bridge between the two worlds that it's trying to find. But you definitely the more you think about it, the more you see that trope in different movies and stuff. Not because it's cliche, but just because it's like I said, it's like an elemental version of the hero's journey, like the old. You see it in myths too. Those people that
Yeah.
are tied, that are torn between two worlds.
What you call it? The Odyssey, where it's
Mm-hmm.
Odysseus on his journey back home, even though it's the hero's journey, he had so many different side quests that he had to accomplish first before he could get home.
Yeah. Why can't the deer stand on the island?
It's a sacred land.
Oh, okay.
He had the biggest like, thanks for taking it off, but I'm sticking around.
Yeah, I'm chilling. It's
Yeah,
like those dogs that lay down by their owners. Like, well, it's the same thing. It's like he's like, I'm not leaving my dude.
yeah. And I would love to have seen the animation process on this when they had to draw every single one of those spirits, give them a unique face and unique
Oh my
perspective,
god.
unique
Yeah.
everything. Like, yeah, now you gotta animate that for 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
What the hell? See, this is all atmosphere. This is all Miyazaki doing atmosphere. It's almost like those little bobbleheads kind of remind me of like cicadas, you know? Like the cicada sounds and stuff of the forest and like
Oh
yeah. He's got
gives
such an he's got such an eye and he prioritizes atmosphere and mood so much more than a lot of like other people.
Like I would love to see just his storyboard of a movie, just from beginning to end. How many of this is pre-planned out so far in advance before they start animating that it's almost like a complete film. Like it's just unique to be able to get on the behind the scenes and to see what goes on creating this.
Yeah. I don't know. You have Disney Plus. Have you seen like the Zen animation things on Disney Plus, like where they do like montages of Disney visuals and then they put like really serene soundscapes to it, and then like you watch it on a loop kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, I've done that just with like with adult substances and things like that, and it's a really
Yeah.
cool, just chill. Because if you're not chill with the animation, you could vibe to the music. If you're not vibing to the music, you could just get into the animation,
Right.
and it's really.
Oh,
it
what's
is
up?
good.
Jaws is in the chat now.
Oh!
What's going on, man? You just got off work?
My two biggest like anime friends, Candace and Josmani, are. We could literally just probably have like a weekend where we just watch this and we won't.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Joe Smani, let me know what you think of this movie, if this is one of your favorites or if you've seen it before, that kind of thing. Ew, what the hell?
That's the tree spirit.
That's terrifying. That's nightmare fuel, man. And he kills leaves and shit. Josh says there's a new Back to the Future manga coming out. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be really interesting to check out.
Hey, did you guys ever check out that the Batman Samurai thing?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's like Imperial Batman and.
Yeah, it was like I heard it was already out. I hadn't seen anything about it though. Oh, Josh says he's seen this movie a million times. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now you're gonna hear probably one of like the voice actors you never thought you'd hear in the movie, a Miyazaki film.
Candace says Ian saw the Batman Samurai thing and hated it. Okay. So just avoid at all costs. Okay.
Yeah, the Batman samurai thing. Like all of a sudden they turn Imperial castles into like mecha robots. And they're like, the.
Oh no. So do you know the meaning behind, not meaning, but the purpose behind those shoes that the guy wears, the Billy Bob Thornton's character wears, those kind of like peg leg foot things? Like, you know what I'm talking about? I'm explaining it stupid, but it's like two boards and like it's a balance board or something. Is that just to like is that just so that they learn to balance? It's almost like training shoes or something?
I don't know for sure. I know they're based off of, like the traditional Japanese sandals.
Yeah.
I think it's just a little bit of a over exaggeration.
Yeah. Duly noted, Candace. I'm gonna I don't know, John said he liked it. He said he liked the Batman Ninja thing. But yeah, Ian was very against it. He said you'll never get that time back.
It was one of those movies where I wish I was an adult substance.
Yeah. But yeah, if anyone knows in chat what those Japanese sandals, like what the purpose of them is, I if I had to guess, I would just guess it's almost like training shoes. Like you wear them because it forces you to learn how to balance, you know. But that's the only thing I can think of.
Oh, there you go. Josh knows what the sandals are for.
Oh, cool. Yeah. At first, those sandals were used for farming and brings by the feet above ground to keep them clean. Okay, so if you're like on wet ground, I'm assuming that it's you're able to walk along the top better. I
Yeah,
guess that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah, like stilts and stuff.
Yeah.
Yo, like real question: would you let someone mama bird feed you like that?
Not after I saw her just like suck blood and spit it out like earlier in the movie. Be like, oh, you'll wash your mouth out or something. She's feeding him like a baby bird. Google says Gaeta. I guess Gaeta is the name of the sandals, or for practicality over fashion, keep your feet clean and kimono from dragging. So so it keeps the kimono from dragging too. So she chews up jerky and just baby bird feeds it to him.
There she is, our girl, Gillian Anderson.
Oh yeah, who was the voice actor? You said this is gonna be a voice actor that you'll have we heard him yet? The one that you said. Oh, okay.
Yes.
We
The
will.
moment you hear him, you're like, yep.
Yeah.
Looks like Kathleen wasn't a fan of the baby bird feeding.
What's up?
Kathleen.
Oh, Kathleen. Yeah, Kathleen was grossed out. So they're pissed because the boar spirit wasn't saved, but that kid was? Yeah. Okay. Damn. Getting testy.
Oh yeah. We're watching on HBO Max, Jaws.
Yeah, Josh. Just so you know, too, all of the Miyazaki films are on HBO Max. So if you want to do some kind of like marathon or something, you can definitely do it on there. They have all of the Ghibli films are on there. Oh, this is the thing you were talking about, the voice actor?
Yep.
Oh shit. Um, let's see. He's the voodoo guy in Princess and the Frog. He was in the Thing. God, he's got two first names and I hate it. Uh,
Here's a voice of Goliath and Gargoyles.
uh-huh. He's in Mass Effect. He plays Captain Anderson in Mass Effect.
Yep.
That's probably where I know him from a lot because that's like one of my favorite games. Keith
You're on the right path. You're on the right path. Come on.
Keith Scott? Keith. It's not Keith Scott. It's Keith David. Keith David.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. He's awesome.
Yeah.
That man was born to voice act.
Oh God, yes. His voice is beautiful. Him and the Allstate guy. But when I heard his voice the first time, I was like, "Whoa, that is uniquely awesome!" And then it started clicking on me there was more and more voices that he did because like that sounds like Goliath, that sounds like so and so, and I'm like, holy hell, he did a lot of voices that are just iconic.
Yeah.
And he doesn't change his voice at all. That's the crazy stuff. He's just like, yeah, I just talk normally.
That's just how he sounds, yeah. Dr. Facilier, yeah, from Princess and the Frog. I started my rewatch filling in the holes of what I'm missing in my Ghibli filmography. Same, yeah. That's when HBO Max had them all on there, that was the first time I had seen Ghibli movies. So I think I've seen I think I'm at 4. I think I've seen Totoro, Spirited Away, this one now, and I want to say one more. Oh, Howl's Moving Castle. I think I've seen 2.
Snap, that's a good one too.
Yeah. God, that forest spirit is terrifying. With his human hands, it is. Oh, dude, that's scary as shit.
I think it's a tie between this one and Howl's Moving Castle. Who has the better voice actors? Oh.
Mm-hmm. Because Howl's Moving Castle has Christian Bale, right?
Yep.
I think he plays.
Bale.
Yeah.
It has Billy Crystal as Calcifer the Fire.
True. Yeah, he's great in that. Damn, this is brutal.
And one of the things with Ghibli films is like they deal with a lot of adult things, but they don't have like this battle. If it was most other animes, the guy loses his arm, it'll just be blood gushing so much. It's almost like a saber crying. They tone it down, but it still has the same impact of like, oh shit, this.
You still understand the ramifications, but it's not like gory for the sake of being gory. You know, it's not like in your face about it. Oh yeah, Josh said he plays the Arbiter in Halo. That's true too.
Yep.
That's another iconic video game character he does.
I still can't get over the fact that it's Billy Bob Thornton and he does it so naturally. Like, yeah, of course, that's what he looks like in real life.
Yeah.
A short, stout man on stilts. I mean, has the facial hair of him though.
Also, I didn't want to make the obvious connection too, but a lot of this stuff reminds me, and it might just be because of the time period and because of like the static camera, but a lot of it reminds me of Kurosawa films of that era. And I'm sure. So I guess I was wondering, do you know if Miyazaki took a lot of inspiration from Kurosawa movies?
Honestly, at this point, it's like who hasn't taken?
Yeah, true.
Cues from Kurosawa, like. You go to any directors from the 60s, 70s, 80s today, and most of them will mention Kurosawa as a reference. It's the way that he framed everything, he scoped everything, he placed everything. Everything had a reason for being there, and
right.
It's unique seeing like how many people took that and all that stuff. There's a famous quote where a guy pretty much just ripped off a Kurosawa film, like almost shot for shot.
Yeah.
And his response was like, yeah, I've seen this movie before. It's called original name of movie. And I was like, oh. Uh-huh.
A lot of times people have ripped off Kurosawa without even realizing it because the movie that they're homaging ripped off Kurosawa, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was an early Clint Eastwood film. It was like either A Fistful of Dollars or one of his early spaghetti
one of
Western.
the kind of spaghetti Western movies, yeah.
Yeah, where Kurosawa literally said like, yeah, that's my film in a Western. That's instead of samurais, it's cowboys.
Well, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I think it's Yojimbo is the one that you're thinking of. Yojimbo is essentially like Eastern version. Well, I guess whatever movie it was is a Western version of Yojimbo, but yeah, Yojimbo has pretty much beat for beat. Is the same as it might be Fistful of Dollars. I think you might be right. I think it might be the one. It was one of those, like you said, early kind of Clint Eastwood spaghetti westerns, though.
Yeah, it was just like such a slight like, yeah, I know. They took my
Hmm.
shit. Yep, Candace, it was a fistful of dollars.
Hmm. Because even that shot right there just reminds me of
Yeah.
I want to say it's Ran, maybe Ran or something. That's what a Kurosawa movie I'm thinking of, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I see a lot of the same imagery. But I do see what you're talking about with the use of female characters in this. Like they're all whether it's San or Lady Oboshi or all the prostitutes or the harem of people that are there that are like they're essentially like the best warriors in the town or whatever, or at least they're the most courageous.
Yeah.
But they're all like super integral to the plot. You know, they're not just ancillary characters. They're talking to each other instead of talking through a man. You know, like they're having discussions with each other, and it doesn't have to do with any kind of male character.
Yeah. And when they do talk about the male characters, it's either like as an insult, a put down, or oh,
Right.
you're not important, go away. Like,
It's in condescension. You know, like it's like
yep.
they're condescending to the male characters.
Yeah, and it's really, and they did like a flip of what was normal. Like a lot of these war movies, you see like the females are the ones that are like, oh, I don't know what to do. There's a war coming in.
Hmm.
But what and just seeing that flip is a really cool take on like, yeah, this should happen. This is possible.
Right.
Let's get this to happen more.
It's sad that that differentiates it from so much of the other stuff. You know what I mean? It's sad that it's so like it's so weird. Like because I guess it's sad that I'm even noticing it. You know what I mean? That I'm like, oh, like look, they're not treating the female characters like shit in this movie. They're not writing them like awful. That's crazy. Like it's so weird that it's like a surprising thing to me. You know?
Yeah, and it's been like so ingrained in our psyche to accept that that's how you write that type of story.
Yeah.
And yeah, like how Candace just said is wish I wish it was something we saw more of.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, Candace nailed it on the head perfectly. Would change the way little girls grow up seeing themselves, and Luann agrees.
Yeah.
And what I like about this, and like I don't mean to talk over it because it's a really important part, is you have the wise old sage from the hero's journey, and normally it's an old decrepit man who's like, "Oh, I need to tell you my last bit of wisdom." And
Hmm.
here you have Maro, vibrant, who knows she's dying, but still has a lot of fight left, and she knows that she has a lot of fight left.
Right. Even Morrow, the 99% of the time that's a sage male character. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And they're like, no, we're gonna. It's like Gillian Anderson. It's a female character, and it's like But yeah, like in 99% of the movies, that character that she's playing is like is an old wise man. You know?
Yeah. And this is a great perspective of each character. Maro sees San as her daughter, ugly, deformed, unwanted, and
Hmm.
Asataki sees her as beautiful, full of potential, that she could do really great stuff. So it's a really nice, I think, just juxtaposition or
Yeah, yeah.
Their different perspective of how they view the same person.
Right. It's all a matter of perspective. And
Yeah,
that's why I said like Ashitaki represents that character because he's able to see from both angles, whereas they're able to see it one way. So he's able to kind of present that differing perspective to Moro. Yeah, he's like I said, he kind of acts like a bridge between the two worlds where he can see kind of both perspectives of it.
yeah, and it leads back to how you brought up about this the hero's journey has multiple parts of it, and this is one of the parts of the hero's journey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Katie said perfect example of beauty being an eye of the beholder. Yeah, because the wolf can't see, or like Moro can't see the benefit of having a daughter that's also human that could do those things. She just sees him as like, she sees him kind of like, I think of like Game of Thrones, how like Tywin sees Tyrion as like a midget, you know what I mean? And he doesn't
Yeah,
see any of the positive things about that character. It's the same thing. It's like she only sees it as like you're not normal, as opposed to what benefits that could bring.
yeah, and like how you brought up with Games of Thrones, they viewed Tyrion, or whatever his name is, Peter Dinklage. They viewed his weakness, his handicap, as a massive weakness, but they didn't see the other aspects that what he could bring to the table.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
he was massively intelligent.
Right. More of this reminds me too a little of Game of Thrones too, just in the aspect that there's so many gray areas, and both sides of the conflict have characters that you feel for. Like on the humans, you feel for Lady Eboshi and the lepers and all that kind of stuff like that. But at the same time, there's these guys that are killing villagers and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then on the nature side, you feel for like San and the wolves and all that stuff. But at the same time, there's apes trying to eat people or trying to eat everything alive, and there's the boar that's trying to kill the village. So it's very good about like setting up opposing sides, but having you feel for characters on each side too. So
Yeah.
it makes you kind of conflicted as a viewer as to who you should be rooting for.
And and you could tell, like, it's not giving it away, but like you could tell how much San cares for Ashitaki because she repaired his shirt and his hat.
Mm-hmm.
She mended it, and
That's true, and they didn't make. I don't know if they show a scene where they showed her doing that because
nope.
I like that they didn't make a thing out of it. It's just kind of like a little character moment that they don't even explain. It's just kind of in the, in the movie.
Yeah, they don't show it, they don't explain it. It's
Yeah.
the only person that could have done it was her.
So I know it's not probably like extremely historically accurate, but have you seen The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise? That movie.
Yeah, I remember
So
seeing it.
I wonder how accurate the story of like the samurai's way of life being exterminated by Western culture like the East was like adopting the Western culture, and the samurais were like this last bastion of wanting to maintain the traditional way of life, and then they had that war and stuff. Because I see a lot of analogous stuff with that in this. Like I could see that being like an inspiration to this story too, is kind of Western culture and industrialization trying to take over the traditional way of life and stuff. I don't know why it clicked for me when she said the Boers are a proud race and they'll run and fight against anything, you know. And then I was like, oh, this could also be like something based on that too. But I don't know how accurate that is. I don't know the history behind it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know the historical relevance of Last Samurai. Like I saw it when it came out, and I think I was still in high school when it came out. I think it was '03. I think it was.
It sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was either '02 or '03, and I know samurais were still kind of around, but I think at that point, by the 1870s, 1890s, it was already they're already phased out. Like they've already moved on from that type of culture.
Yeah.
And even the clouds are stunning in this movie.
Hmm. But that movie also fits with what I was talking about earlier because it fits into that archetype of the warrior being pulled between two different world things. You know,
Yeah,
it's the same kind of archetype that's used here in the Last Samurai, where Tom Cruise is like this hotshot like Civil War soldier, and then he gets introduced to samurai culture, and then he becomes this bridge between the two worlds. You know, fighting for it. So, I think it fits a lot on both of those too. It fits along that archetype.
it does, and it's kind of unique how they use the different. One of the things that popped out the most to me about the last samurai was when he first wakes up and he's still in his military garb and he just walks around the house with his boots on and everyone's just kind of like, what are you doing? He's kind of like, what do you mean what I'm doing? I'm walking around the house. Like, what do you expect me to do?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, take off your damn boots, asshole. We're like, oh, okay. Like that's something like I've had to learn with Lou, where she's like, "Why do you have your shoes?" I'm like, "Oh, sorry, my bad."
Yeah. You have to constantly be thinking about it.
Yeah, so no, I try to first thing I come in is like take off my shoes, throw them in the shoe rack, and hopefully I didn't do anything else to get yelled at.
Yeah.
I just say that because she's watching and she's gonna give me grief afterwards. And once again, it goes back to the same ideas where arrows are going by hitting the fort. The guys are flinching. The women are like, "Yeah, we're used to this. What else is new?"
Yeah. Oh, they hit you cool? Come on, man.
For you, cool.
Got him right in the ass.
Oh, shit.
Damn. His hand was still holding onto the sword. That's crazy. Oh, that's badass. Dude just caught it.
Well, we just built the
That
fuck
other
out
dude
of there.
so yeah, that other dude so fast was like, nope, fuck this, nope, no way.
Well, that's actually a really good question. Uh, Kathleen says, is there any explanation or reason the characters' faces are the same, such as contrast to details or of scenery and backgrounds?
Like I don't know what she means by the same. Does she mean like the background characters, or is she saying like the main characters' faces are the same?
I I'm assuming it's like their overall basic shape structure. Like guys tend to have more of like a rounded face. Women tend to have
Yeah,
more of an oval face. I think it's just the style that they used for the characters. In
right. Another
traditional
thing
animation.
too, another thing too, and I don't know if this is intentional as to why that might be, is the theme of the movie, at least so far, has been human versus nature, and I think having humans embody kind of the same animation style and the same character design style kind of reinforces that. It makes it all like they're one kind of homogenous group versus nature, as opposed to if you drew them very differently, you would I think you would draw kind of lines between the humans, that are there. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
I think I like yours better.
Like it's kind of just a way to group them together, as a common enemy for the animals, and the animals, as a common enemy for the humans, and vice versa.
I I want to go a little bit deeper that like we get the basic perspectives of like how each person views each other based off of human interactions like where if you're the stereotype of like all African Americans look the same, all Asian Americans look the same.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're taking this to a different perspective, like how you're saying, where they're just grouping them all together, of saying for most people they can't tell the difference between a pack of wolves. You tell them, hey, tell the difference between the wolves. Everyone's like, yeah, I can't do that.
Right, right,
And but you tell the wolves, tell the difference between these humans, and they're kind of like, I
exactly,
don't know, they all look the same. And
right,
I think it touches upon like what you were saying, and with Kathleen, with what she was saying, where the respective side can't tell the difference of the other person.
right. There's
But
not they don't view them as individuals. They view them as a collective, as like a
yeah,
collective evil or a collective bad force or whatever. I mean, we might be reading too much into it. It might just be like the art style of that they decided to go with. But I think if I had to pick like a narrative reason for them to do that, it would be kind of unite the animals against a common enemy, and vice versa. That they don't, like you said, they don't view the humans as individual people. They view them as like a collective evil.
yeah,
So they would all look the same.
yeah. And if this wasn't Miyazaki or some of the other big animated uh movie animator mater movie directors, I would say they're just being lazy. But like how in detail they are, like you see the characters, the how much they do for each character, like the boars, each one has the unique warrior markings.
Yeah,
That like that has to be something that he took into effect, or he took into consideration when he was designing the characters, designing the movie. because some of the main, like San and Ashitaka, look completely different compared to these guys. These, like the hunters, they all
Yeah.
look the same. Even the dead boars have all unique markings.
Yeah. Oh shit, is that Keith David?
That's Keith David.
Damn. He's fucked up.
Man, that wolf got fucked up too.
Yeah. This giving me. I just watched Suicide Squad. This giving me the ending vibes. The
Ratcatcher
rat catcher.
2.
Yeah. It's like deja vu.
I know that's not
Those
the
are.
movie we were talking about, but that was a good movie.
Yeah, yeah. That's not them.
This movie, this part, when I first saw it, emotionally wrecked me just for like when he starts, my warriors, and
Yeah.
it got me real good.
Yeah. It sucks. I wouldn't watch you saying that. I would. It got him moving. So let him believe who he wants to believe. You know. Dang.
Homie took out a rock.
Damn. So are the humans just waiting till it leads them to the forest spirit? Is that what they're doing?
Yeah.
Is that why they're hiding under the borer suits or whatever?
Yep. So they could get the force spirit to come out.
I got my first spam ad from Twitch.
Oh, congratulations!
I know, right? This is a milestone. Great.
I know.
So proud of myself.
V Mary Jane 117.
Yeah. I will definitely not do that, but thanks for spamming my my stream. It's impossible. Damn, that's messed up. They're on their own.
And now you see her true intentions.
Yeah. Is Moro already dead?
No.
Oh, okay.
Before the movie ends, there's something I want to say because if I said it earlier, it'll give away the entire
Okay.
movie.
Shaw says I want to be a wolf. That'd be a pretty cool one. What animal would you pick, Ryan, if you had to be an animal?
An otter.
An otter? Okay.
Yeah.
They're pretty chill. They're always having fun. I get it. Fuck. I don't know. I think pandas have it pretty good.
Yeah. They
I think it's pretty relaxed.
You know, pandas are no longer on the endangered. No, they're still. I think they're still endangered. They're no longer critically endangered.
Oh, okay. That's good. Dang. He just matrix dodged all those darts. Shaw says I want to be a dire wolf. That's pretty much what Morrow is in this, right? It's like a giant ass dire wolf.
Yeah.
I'm wondering why his wound isn't reacting to like that the already disease hatred or whatever.
I think since it hasn't truly formed, and he's still in flux, that's probably why it hasn't been able to
Yeah.
take a hold of him yet. Oh, hey, kitty cat. Miso making a guest appearance.
Miso. That's what animal I would be. I'd be a miso kitty.
Oh man, she's all she does is eat, sleep, and
She's gotten bigger.
oh yeah.
Oh shit!
Headshot.
Shot him right in the face, dude. Yeah, that forest spirit was like, man, one shot. You think I'm about to go down from one shot?
It's gonna take more than that.
Terrifying ass, creepy forest spirit. that thing's scary. The whole design of it with the like, it's like almost like a baboon face and like it's got like human hands for feet. It's weird, man.
Yo, it reminds me of one of the Pokemons from X and Y, the X Pokemon.
I don't know. Jaws probably knows. Jaws, what Pokemon is he thinking of?
Okay, you want to be up on left? Okay.
What the hell?
Yep. It's turned to the creature it was earlier in the movie. I don't think it was. Might have been empty.
Jaws says NT, anti.
Yeah, I think it might have been that one.
Oh shit! She shot his head.
Clear off, too.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh.
Oh shit. She did say that.
So I can say this
She
now.
did. Yeah.
This movie has a shit ton of foreshadowing.
Oh yeah.
Like
I was just
it
getting at that, thinking about that too, when she said earlier about a wolf's head biting and stuff.
Yeah, and this movie it plays foreshadowing very, very well where it'll say things and you kind of half expect it, and then when it happens, you're like,
Hmm.
oh shit, okay, it happened.
Yeah. Like lines of dialogue that you didn't think were integral to the story come back, and you're like, oh shit, okay, that did mean something.
Yeah.
That's the best way is when it's hidden and you can't pinpoint it as well. Is hiding those foreshadowed moments are the best way to go. Her claim hasn't been avenged because the woman lost an arm. Like,
Oh no, yeah, it really does, Candace.
oh, I'm not sure. I don't know what they mean by no face.
It's from Spirited Away.
Oh, okay. Oh, are you talking about the bathhouse sequence? Is that okay?
Yep.
This is what you guys wanted.
Well, they got rid of Asano's army.
Yeah.
The one thing I have to say about this movie that I didn't realize until now is there's a lot of guys' asses in it.
Yeah. A lot of man ass.
Yeah, which I think is a nice
Mhm.
like change of pace compared to what we normally get.
Right.
So I like the
Yeah.
fan service where it's just a bunch of like drunk male asses.
Yeah. Yeah, the little tree spirit butts. Kodama?
Yeah, the Kodomos. Yeah, Candace is the little Kodama butts too.
Yeah, yeah. So, do you think this was a commentary? Because this came out in '97, and I don't know about the kind of environmental politics in Japan at the time, but do you think this was kind of about pollution, just kind of like a general pollution? Because whenever I see like these black ooze or black smog overtaking nature and stuff, I usually think of it's like it's less about more specific, or it's less about like general environmentalism, more like pollution issues that they were dealing with in the '80s and '90s and stuff,
I think
and
it's just
smog and that kind of stuff. You know?
I think it's a generalization. Just because like the environment plays a massive theme in a lot of his movies.
Yeah.
Nature plays a huge role. I think it's just a combination of everything altogether. Just
Yeah.
protecting it, saving it, because if it doesn't, look what happens. You lose nature. You lose what's around you.
Right. Dang, Ashitaka's having a hard time with Billy Bob.
Yo, Billy Bob's a badass, bro.
I guess so.
So does she now have super strength too?
I don't know. I mean, that just having that little curse on him in the beginning gave him like super strength and stuff too. So I would assume so.
Oh, more guy asses. Princess Mononoke. We only talk about guy butts. Yeah, cool.
This is nature fighting back right now.
Well, I think some of the themes that like Miyazaki deals with, like nature can heal itself, but we have to give it the opportunity to be able to do it.
Yeah. What the fuck did you think it did?
Yeah.
I didn't know the forest spirit made forests grow. Like, it's weird. So it's weird because it's like, so visually it made it like it died or something, or at least it fell and then exploded or something like that. So is it
Yeah.
still alive or like, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they'll probably explain in a second, but
And we will rename Irontown Tokyo.
she said, yeah, but it's daytime, so it's that funny looking baboon elk thing now. Yeah. Okay, so it is still alive. It's just now it's that. Oh shit! No, she said he's dead.
And there's the compromise between the two parties.
Yeah, but it's not. The compromise would have been between Eboshi and her, you know. So I guess that's what they're talking about right now.
Oh no, I was just talking out of my butt, Jaws. It was just a joke about beautiful landscape turning into a metropolitan city.
Yeah.
But one of the things, like, I think it's a good contrast is like you have San with the forest and the trees because she grew up with it, but then you have Ashitaki there as well, like to help Irontown merge. And since Ashitaki and San have the connection, they're able to help figure out a compromise where everyone's happy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, and I mean, I'll talk. Let me switch over real quick. So, because that's the end of the movie here.
Yep.
So the ending was odd for me just because of the way it visually shows the forest spirit dying, which I'm assuming takes it into like the forest is no longer able to care for itself. Like it's up to us now, right? That's what I got kind of from that, is like the forest spirit and like its ability to be a steward of itself is gone now, and now it's up to like us to like shepherd it along, or not destroy it or whatever.
Yeah, I think it has to do with the concept of the two worlds having to coexist with each other, like how real life has to coexist with nature. And it's since the environment and so many different themes that he uses in a lot of his films, I think this was the point where he went, anything that happens in nature and with mankind has to coexist with each other to have a peaceful life where everything thrives properly. If we burn through all our resources, we won't have nature there. We won't have the animals. We won't have any of this stuff with us. And we're destroying their environment to build our environment. And we need to find the compromise of where's the balance of good and bad. I know this is kind of a little bit of hot topic issues, but with the Amazon, with the amount of deforestation going on there, like how Josmani just mentioned, that's destroying a humongous ecosystem that has a massive effect on the environment. So the farmers need the land, so they're burning the rainforest, but the rainforest helps provide substance for the entire world. So it's the balance that you're trying to find between the two entities. And I think the ending is we need to know what the balance is, so that way we don't destroy it and we're able to still enjoy that for the rest of our lives. Our different generations can enjoy it, so on and so forth.
Yeah, the film's like just about the struggle to coexist with between man and nature, as far as like you said, finding harmony, finding some kind of balance between expansion and like us doing things that we need to survive, especially in those areas. And then also doing things in the ways that those species and the nature can survive, and it touches on sustainability, doing stuff that can be sustainable, that you can do and doesn't cause permanent damage to stuff that you need to be renewable and stuff like that. But the ending, I completely understand that so I think, like Candy said, she said that makes sense. He gives what's left to kickstart the growth, but to keep it alive, we need to protect it. So that's what I think was the symbolism behind the forest spirit dying. Was there's we've reached a point, humanity's reached a point now where nature's only going to survive if we protect it. That's case in point. Whereas before, I think in generations or civilizations before industrialization happened, we didn't really have the tools or the power to destroy nature, and now we do. So what I took from like the forest spirit dying in the last part was we've now reached a point where there's not gonna, like, nature's not gonna be okay. Nature doesn't have this protective force for it anymore. It's on us now. Like, we're the stewards of nature now, and now that the forest spirit is no longer there. I would have liked for that last scene between Ashitaka and San to happen between Eboshi, or is it Lady Eboshi and San?
Yeah.
Because like you said, like, that's the compromise, but I felt like the compromise, he was the compromise character. But the compromise would have been between San and Eboshi. They represented both sides of that, like either side of that coin. So I would have liked to have seen they had an interaction where they come to some kind of peace together, as opposed to her and Ashitaki. But they did have the scene with Lady Eboshi at the end. I just wonder what changed in her character. So, like, I think if I had a critique for the ending, it was like, I didn't see a moment where Lady Eboshi realized, oh, everything I've done is ridiculous. It's just like all of a sudden there was like this epiphany at the end, but there wasn't like they didn't seem like there was a motive for her to all of a sudden change her mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you could also say the same for San, because at the end she says that like I hate that woman and I don't trust humans, but she's already determined that she'll never trust a human outside of Ashitaki, because Ashitaki has Yakul who vouches for him, the wolves vouch for him, like everyone just vouches with him, so like he meets, so like she could trust him. But Lady Eboshi doesn't reach out to her, doesn't reach out to nature. It's just kind of, yeah, it's there, I'm gonna use it. So neither San or Lady Eboshi have grown, because San still hates all that stuff, and she still views herself as a wolf.
Right. Yeah. And then, oh, cool. And then just got finished. Yeah. Let us know what you thought. And then, I don't know if I'm sure you've probably seen this before. I know you voted on it. Well, maybe not though, because you didn't want to be in a chat and stuff. Candy said she said they were going to build a better town, but it's unclear as to whether that means going in the same direction as before, or in the direction that's more environmentally friendly. And my critique, and I totally agree with that too, but my critique about that ending might be intentional. It might be Miyazaki saying that, because like you said, San and Lady Eboshi really haven't changed from so this was a first time watch for Emma, and yeah, good call not doing it for the watch party then, and just kind of watching it on your own. Let me know what your thoughts on it were, but we were discussing the ending and how I think me and you both felt like San and Lady Eboshi really didn't change throughout the course of the story, and that might be intentional, because it might be saying that Miyazaki may be making a commentary saying that he doesn't have a very optimistic view of how this is going to turn out, because if they keep going down the path that they're going on, with San not trusting the humans and staying in her own kind of isolationist bubble, and Lady Eboshi doing the same, then it's going to lead in the same direction. And I think that might be what Miyazaki's saying, and he's trying to make a warning of like, we're headed in this direction again, guys. If something doesn't change, this is what's going to happen. Yeah, and Ashitaki is the medium between them to make sure that they do change and there is not a repeat of it, because without his involvement, none of this would have happened. Like, they would have killed the forest spirit, everything would have gone to shits, and everybody would have died. And Ashitaki was the one that's like, no, we need to find this compromise where nature and humans could live together as one. And I think with Miyazaki's keeping San and Lady Eboshi the same mindset, and Ashitaki being the one like, no, you have to find the balance, because when we go back to the foreshadowing, his village lived with nature. His village was a part of nature. And I think with the foreshadowing, he will be the one that could bring that balance for Irontown and for the forest to still live together in harmony. True, yeah. So yeah, and touching on that point too, like if Ashitaki is the audience POV, he's our protagonist character, it's almost like Miyazaki's putting the pressure on the audience and saying like, listen, these two entrenched sides, nature and kind of the more corporate or more industrialized man, they're not going to come to a compromise on their own. It's up to us to facilitate that, and up to us to help them find some kind of balance, because on their own the two are not going to naturally find a compromise. So like you said, it might be Miyazaki saying like, it's up to the Ashitakas of the world, or like us as the audience, that can kind of bridge those divides to come to some kind of compromise to save it. So I think now that kind of we're talking about it, it makes sense as to why that choice was made. But yeah, initially I just remember thinking like, I don't know, neither one of those characters changed. And now that I'm talking about it, I'm like, well, that makes sense if that's what you're going for, is like they weren't supposed to change, because it's up to us to bridge that gap, Yeah, so it's a unique perspective, and like, yeah, no, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you that Ashitaki's us, and we're the ones that need to make that change. Like, we need to find the balance between the two worlds of nature and industrialization, and make it coexist, so that way we still have it for future generations and for ourselves as well. Right. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Again, the craftsmanship behind all of it is so apparent. It's so like I said, it's so easy for generations in our generation and the generation after us to kind of naturally undervalue what we're seeing, because we've seen computers and algorithms kind of take over a lot of that a lot of that
Yeah.
background stuff and a lot of that like detail. But when you think about like I said, that Miyazaki has to fight for like 30 seconds of a really atmospheric, moody shot of like wind over a plane
grass
or something,
fields.
and you realize that shot is comprised of a bunch of different animators being paid a salary in a room and all that. In like, so I guess the point I'm making is like Miyazaki's like his like unwavering vision comes through, like where it's like he fought for like these really small atmospheric moody moments that really like on their own don't seem necessary to the film, but as a whole it's like it adds to the entire ambiance and stuff. So it's really a testament to how like clear and like unwavering his vision is, that this works so as well as it does, you know.
No, for sure. And just like what we talked about throughout the film, just the detail and just like making each character unique. When the guard is just looking back, like he hears a commotion, you see him in the very, very background just turn around, kind of like, what the are they up about?
Yeah.
And just going like, okay, I'm gonna have you animate that. And the guy's like, really? You want me to animate a guy that you can't really see his face, you can't really see facial features, turn around and look at what's going on? Yep, that's what I want you to do.
Right.
Okay.
Because even if you're not consciously looking at that character, all of those little details add up into this subconscious like feeling of like immersive, and you're just immersed in the movie. And it's not like you're consciously paying attention to those details, but just all of them together create this like tapestry of like I feel immersed in this film. I trust the journey that I'm being taken on and all that kind of stuff. So I really think that kind of what sets this stuff apart. But no, like I thought it was great. I really appreciate you coming on and picking this one for all you guys that voted for this one too, because this was a really cool film. I do want to do more anime stuff, so I'll definitely start adding more anime films, hopefully into my my themes that are going forward, or maybe invite people on that are more kind of focused on that content and seeing if they have really cool recommendations for us going forward. But do you have any closing thoughts regarding the film and what it means to you and stuff?
One thing, MN said that it was a good entrance into anime for him, and I agree, this was a really great thing. But like, no, thank you for having me. Movie was really great. I love that I could nerd out on it just because of how impactful Miyazaki has been for a lot of people, not just me. We saw in the chat Jaws and Candace were enthralled with this movie as well. So it was just really great to see this film and being able to talk about it in a different aspect, because we have all talked about it, but seeing different things and different connections of it was a really great experience. But
one of the cool things about the watch party is seeing it through other people's eyes and seeing other people's perspectives on it and stuff, and being able to talk about it during it. That's kind of one of the cool things. So I appreciate you coming on. I know you're doing you're writing for the Geeks Worldwide and stuff. Do you have anything coming up that you wanna plug, or have anything you're looking to post soon?
I'm looking to get a own site going with stuff, moving the stuff I write about or the reviews or copy to my own stuff and just starting out from there. So looking to get that up and running. So that's going to be in the frameworks. But something I do want to bring up is you have a very, very badass shirt on right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for those of you guys that don't know, it doesn't come through here well because I keep it in black and white and stuff too. But this is a DisTract shirt that a family member, she runs a custom design site and everything. She gave this to me as a gift, so it's cool. I got a little DisTract shirt. She also gave me like a cup that has DisTract on it too, but it's pretty sick. I'm really happy with how it turned out.
But thank you for having me on. It's really awesome. I'm really glad to spend the time with everyone here to talk about Miyazaki, and with you the different aspects of like anime could still have deep rooted connections to the movie, like how movies are made, shots and set up. Like, yes, you're setting up the camera, but you're setting up the camera so far in advance before you even get there that it's really unique how you still get those sceneries, you still get those shots, you still get those impactful moments, and they've been planned out for so far in advance. And it's really great being able to talk about stuff like that.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate having you on, and we'll definitely get up again. We'll be next week. I'm going to be posting again the nominees on Wednesday, and then we'll vote on Friday. So I do have some guests coming up in the future weeks and everything, but I appreciate you guys hanging out. I'm going to go ahead and hop into the outro here, but I'll see you around, Brian.
Yep, see you around, man. Thank you for having me. Y'all have a great night.
You too. Kathleen says merch possibilities. Hey, maybe if it gets to a point where you guys are jonesing for some DisTract shirts like these, let me know, and I'll get with her and see if that's something we want to do. But I appreciate you guys hanging out and watching Princess Mononoke with us here. If you guys do want to watch movies next week, make sure to like and subscribe to the video. Also, make sure to join the Discord below so that you guys get to vote on the movies that we post on Wednesday. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks for coming out.